Welcome to another exhilarating episode of Comic Book Straight Talk, brought to you from the secret basement inside one of America's oldest comic shops, Tulsa's own The Comic Empire. Now, true believers, open up your ear holes and get ready to have your head filled with the best comic book knowledge this galaxy can handle. That's right, it's time for another nerd overload with Comic Book Straight Talk.
Welcome back to Comic Book Straight Talk. This is Dalian.
Terry. Kenny.
Harrington.
And this episode we're going to talk about the news of San Diego Comic-Con that was just last week. Terry, what you got? Start us off with.
Well, I am so far of the news that is shown. I mean, there's I didn't find a whole lot of just comic book news. Because you know, I mean, comics are still part of San Diego Comic-Con, but not like they were. But I found a lot of comic book news via the movies, I guess. So the one thing that I'm looking forward to, well, I'm not sold on it yet, but I'm on board, is I'm liking the looks of Marvel's The Gifted.
It's the on Fox. It has it's basically New Mutants kind of thing.
Yeah,
there are a bunch of new mutants have been found, and
it looks. It's. I think it's interesting. It looks like a family drama to a degree, but it does look darker than your normal DC shows.
Right.
And it's going to be starring Polaris, Blink, Thunderbird, Eclipse, and I guess 2 new characters made specifically for the show.
And I think one of the you're talking about family. The dad is a guy that hunts mutants and locks them up. And I think from what I've understood,
right,
his kids are revealed to be mutants, and he goes to these guys, these I don't want to call them X-Men, but I guess that's what they kind of are, for their help.
Right.
And so it looks pretty. It's kind of like I look like it's like kind of the fugitive kind of thing. They're running from the law, kind of.
So like I said, I'm not sold on it, but I'm on board. It'll get a couple episodes out of me to check it out.
Okay.
That's the show. That's of all the news. That's kind of the first thing that I thought was that I'll probably definitely check out first off.
Yeah, because I know we were talking earlier. Kenny said and I agreed with what he said. That there wasn't a whole lot of what you just said too. A whole lot of news for comics. I mean, I guess the big news is kind of more of a comic retailer part. Would be that Mile High Comics Chuck R. And his company is didn't set up at Comic-Con this year.
Well, he's been threatening to do it for years, not set up, and he just finally followed through with it this year.
Well, I think he stated that the problems he had last year getting the products loaded in and all that, and then the diminishing returns for the comic sales. That's kind of what he was saying. So,
from what a friend of ours actually said, he said there were still plenty of comics there, but they just weren't they were not in the price range of the normal comic book buyer. It's you got to be more of somebody that makes lots of zeros on your paycheck.
Well, I think was it an 8-something CGC Pep Comics first Archie sold at Comic-Con for a huge amount of money. People aren't going to be, like you said, aren't going to be able to afford that.
Right. So I mean, you're mainly going to be going since there's comics still there, but you're not going to be able to buy them. You would be going there for I guess, which is still interesting, the panels and seeing some of the guests and stuff that show up there.
Yeah.
But if you're just a diehard comic book and you're wanting to complete a run of something, or you want to get maybe something within your realm ballpark that's a little bit special, costs a little bit more money, $2,000 maybe, it's probably kind of out of your realm.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yep, Hollywood's pushed the comics out.
Oh, and we kind of saw that the last time we were there,
Yeah.
We all went. So I mean, your comics are delegated to one little corner, pretty much, of the whole event center and stuff.
And that was actually several years ago since,
Yeah.
since our last trip there. So
yeah.
I'm sure it's been smaller and smaller.
I did think it was funny that Blizzard Entertainment, the ones that do World of Warcraft and Hearthstone, they made like a malt shop, like an old-fashioned ice cream malt shop for their expansion for Hearthstone for the card game. I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, video games and movies is what really it was. Did you see anything news wise that?
No, the only thing I saw was that, but I was confused when I read the article. DC says they're not going to do any variants, but I couldn't tell if they're not doing any variants for the, what is it, Dark Metal or whatever?
No, the Dark Matter stuff.
The Dark Matter series, or they're not going to do variants, period.
Yeah, they said that, and they kind of started a little controversy with that when Jim Lee stands up and says, that the industry's heading for another bust because of the old embracing the '90s of the variants and everything, and it really kind of took a shot at Marvel because of Marvel's doing all these different incentive variants and all this. We have to buy 50 copies of this one book that sucks to get one copy of this book that may sell, and it's just it's
also
'90s.
It's also just to a lot of comic dealers, I'm sure it's confusing and trying to figure out, well, how much did I sell last time?
Well,
because it's always for if you order 250% of what you ordered for Avengers number 7. Well, God, that was like 2 years ago. How do I know how many I ordered? You
right.
know, so, like Mike said, he just quit even messing with it.
Right.
He just marks down a 1, and if they send it to him, great, and if they don't, oh well.
Yeah. But from what I understood, the Dark Matter stuff is going to hold the line at $2.99, and they're not going to do any variant covers, but they're going to do trifold covers.
That's still a variant.
Yeah.
Which, well, it's still good.
It's still a gimmick.
It's a gimmick, right?
Yes.
But it's going to have like more art, like on the top and the bottom and all that. And so it's still a gimmick. Right, but they're not going to do like the incentive variants, and they're doing. And actually, they've done that with the Rebirth. Is all their they do their you can order their variants.
Yeah.
You want to order, they're 50/50s if you want to do them that way or stuff. So they're not doing like the incentive variants like they did in the past. So
they're still coming out. A lot of them are coming out still, I believe, twice a month.
Well, they're still doing that.
So
yes.
It's not really helping you save any money.
Well, no, but it's they're if you want cover A, as a retailer, if you want to buy only cover A, you can. If you want to buy only cover B, you can. You don't have to worry about ordering 10 copies to get 1 copy kind of thing. And so,
that's what they've been kind of doing for the most part for
since
quite some time now.
Right. Well, since the Rebirth stuff, that's when they started doing that, and so they're going to continue pushing that. And the Dark Metal stuff is supposed to be.
Well, they are going to be having a midnight release for the Dark Metal thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to have a special cover for that, and there is going to be a 1 in 100 for that.
Yeah. I think they're talking more of the monthly thing. That's kind of an event for them.
Right, I understand. Right, this is more of an event thing.
And like the Marvel Legacies, all have they're doing all lenticular covers and regular covers and incentive covers, and it's just they showed the Justice League. Talk about movies. The Justice League trailer got shown. The new one.
Right.
And it looks pretty good. The extended version of it I've seen, and it's.
What I'm a little bit confused is Ben Affleck. Is he out as Batman, or is he?
See, Warner Brothers says he is, but he says he's not.
I was confused. The way that Ben Affleck responded to it sounded like he wasn't in, but he wasn't in as Batman as himself, but was still in doing something. I don't know.
Maybe not directing, but he's going to star as Batman.
Because what's his face? Is it Matt? Threw out Ben Affleck's script for the show, the film.
Right.
So I don't know if he's in still helping in some way, or is he still in as Batman or out? So I don't know. I was confused by that.
I don't know.
What about so they also showed the new Krypton.
I don't know how I feel about that one. I know it's going to be on sci-fi. It deals with people going in the past to change Superman.
Well, it's going to be dealing with Krypton and Krypton politics and everything that goes on with Krypton. It's going to have several special appearances, such as Brainiac, Doomsday, Hawkman, Adam Strange is supposed to appear. So I mean, I don't know. It looks like, but the sad thing is, most sci-fi shows you're like, oh, it's on Sci-Fi, so
Right.
yeah, I'll give it a watch and see what happens.
Well, Winona Earp was on Sci-Fi.
Winona Earp, Killjoys, Dark Matter,
Yeah.
12 Monkeys. Those are all good shows.
I think it's still got that stigma from the past, though.
Yeah.
Probably.
No, I don't think so. I think their original movies are bad. That's
We
Sharknado.
all remember Sharknado. Yep.
But their TV shows recently have been really good.
Well, they had Lost Girl too.
Yeah,
is
well, Lost
pretty
Girl
good.
wasn't a sci-fi. Originally, it was Canadian.
Well,
aired in Canada.
it
but
aired in
first,
Canada,
I think.
but it did. But then they showed it on Sci-Fi in the U.S. So
Yeah, I agree. They have had some good shows. I'm just, I don't know. I personally, I guess, look at it that way from this, I guess, having a stigma of, and probably you're probably right. The sci-fi regional movies have always been pretty bad. So,
Thor Ragnarok trailer was good.
Thor Ragnarok has looked really good, and we have the Hulk looking like he's going to be intelligent in there.
and he speaks. Yeah.
And he speaks. So that lends you more to a little bit more to Planet Hulk, I guess. Although I hear they're not going to do another just Hulk movie.
No, because Universal has those rights still to do for the movie, but supposedly that's. They also showed it at D3, and they showed it at San Diego at Comic-Con, the Avengers Infinity trailer.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it before it got taken down.
No. Well, apparently also they showed some of the Captain Marvel trailer.
Oh.
Yes,
So-
and
and
the
that- and that-
Skrulls are going to show up in the Captain Marvel.
And that got taken down real quick too. So
And Samuel Jackson is going to have both of his eyes because
Yeah.
this takes place earlier.
in the 90s, I think. Yeah.
So that sounds pretty interesting. And we also have New Warriors going to come out with
On Freeform, I believe.
the team is going to be Night Thrasher, Squirrel Girl, Mr. Immortal, Speedball, Microbe, and Debris. I believe.
And who?
Debris?
Debris.
Microbe, Speedball,
Debris.
Mr. Immortal, and this I like. Although I haven't seen her in a lot of stuff, their choice for Squirrel Girl. I know her from the AT&T commercial, and she was also in Silicon Valley.
That's your favorite AT&T commercial, isn't it?
No,
No, we're talking the cellular phone commercial with the people going to the cell phone place, and she's the cell phone
Yep.
salesman.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
yes.
Milana Vaintrub.
okay. Well, she'll do pretty good as Squirrel Girl. Yeah, okay, I like that.
I
look.
think she's got the look for it. So
Yeah, I know that she has a fan following. I don't know. I guess when I've seen her written other books, it's better than when how she's written in her own book.
What are you talking about?
Squirrel Girl, sorry.
Oh.
and Squirrel Girl within the comic
Right,
themselves.
right. You know, I mean, when Bendis wrote her in New Avengers, you know, she wasn't as goofy and so, no,
I
but
thought you liked that kind of stuff because you're a really big fan of Gwenpool.
I am, yes, but going and reading how the character was established, you know, as Bendis had established her in New Avengers, going into reading her own book, for one, I can't stand the art, and I don't know, you have that preconcept, it's like, you know, trying to read a book after you've seen the movie, you know, it's kind of hard to do, so.
All right. I think we've all seen a little bit of the Inhumans. How do you feel about that?
I've seen some of the leaks. I haven't seen the actual finished pilot yet, or
They showed a little bit more.
preview of it.
I don't know. It looks to me. I'll probably watch a few episodes. It does look cheaper, but it's also for TV.
Mm-hmm.
I think the hair looks okay. I think Lockjaw looks okay. Some of the things where they have to do special effects to them, other than the hair, I think the hair looks okay. It does look a little cheap. Looks CGC definitely, like your old Babylon 5 CGC type stuff. So I don't know. I think maybe story wise, maybe it'll be better. Just not have the CGC.
Maybe.
So
I know they're going to tie in with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because the I guess spoiler here, the way Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ends, they're in space or something. And so I've seen the picture of the cast of them with Lockjaw, so, you know, maybe that's how they get back to Earth.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So Netflix news, Iron Fist has been renewed.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting rid of all the writers. From what I understand, they're going to be all new writers.
And a new showrunner, too, I've heard
Yes.
also. Yeah.
And supposedly it's going to be more grounded. I'm not really sure what that means. More grounded for that show. It seemed fairly grounded.
Yeah.
So.
Shock, I haven't seen it yet, so.
Well, like I read some comments on a message board about the guy that I guess he's taking over a movie or something, or another TV show, and apparently he's going to use the evil corporation again, and apparently that's like his favorite thing. I guess he's an anti-capitalist, so that's probably why they're getting all new writers and new showrunner on Iron Fist, is because I guess this guy just follows a formula.
Right.
There's an evil corporation, and we have to take them on. And
well, in the Marvel universe, it kind of makes sense a bit because you've got Roxxon, who was the, end all, be all, corporate bad people most of the time. But
Now I know before the first Iron Fist show aired or started showing, he didn't really have much time to train. And I understand that he's gotten more into it and has had more time to train. So hopefully that'll help when it comes to doing fight scenes.
I don't know. I thought the fight scenes were okay.
I thought they were okay. I think with more training, I think hopefully it'll just be that much better.
now we've got.
I thought they were a little slow as
Yeah.
compared to other fight scenes that we've seen, especially in Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we know Jessica's getting a second season. Isn't that starting in? Is it spring? Like that? Have they
Yeah,
announced
it
a
is.
date yet? Okay, so
Oh,
spring.
just another note though on Iron Fist. Apparently Misty Knight's going to be in Iron Fist, and she's kind of, I guess maybe sort of that bridge between Iron Fist and Luke Cage,
Sir,
and possibly a bridge into the Defenders. I don't know.
we closed the door on Iron Fist, sir. We can't reopen it.
Reopening
Speaking
it.
of Defenders, since you mentioned it, they did show a newer trailer, trailer 2, for it, and it looks good. It looks fun. So.
I think they showed just enough in the trailer to kind of make it interesting, but not without giving a whole lot of it away.
Yeah. Well, the scene where they're on the subway, and Jessica just opens a beer and just downs it, and they're all looking at her, and she's like, "It's been a rough day, a rough week, or something." And so.
And it's interesting how each one of them play. Like Jessica doesn't seem like, she even wants to be in the team, but at the same time, she doesn't really even want to be herself, And she's wearing the Infinity Scarf.
Oh, is she?
Mm-hmm. So we'll see if that makes its way to.
Is it the Infinity Scarf or a Infinity Scarf?
I don't know if it's the Infinity Scarf or an A Infinity Scarf. I don't know. And then also you see in Luke Cage in it, sort of a throwback to the 70s, and his back of his hoodie or whatever, it's yellow, that bright yellow. So
Okay.
that was kind of interesting. But yeah, the Defenders looks pretty good. It was announced at the Legion panel that there's going to be a Doctor Doom film.
Yeah. I just Fox is trying. They really are. I'll give them that to make people forget the FF movies and try to bring it back and do them. But I think
they're trying to make them forget
well,
about
not
it.
really forget. Yeah, that's
Dr.
true.
Doom is an interesting character.
He is. He is an interesting character.
He's running his own country.
Yes.
So I think I think it's going to come from the perspective of Dr. Doom.
Which would be interesting if they took that Doom miniseries that I believe Brubaker did, didn't he?
Yeah, he did
think-
books of Doom. I think.
Yeah, that was something like that. Yeah, that told all of Doom's history, which was a great read, and it makes you like Doom. But no, I just think that they need to. I mean, the whole FF franchise has been damaged goods, and they just need to I guess either just give it back to Marvel and do something, or just shell it off for a little while.
Do like Sony did and let Marvel make the movie for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate the last Fantastic Four film.
I haven't seen
I
it.
think it was great by any means. I didn't hate it like a lot of people.
My favorite ones is still the Roger Corman 80s 90s one. So
the one that didn't air.
Yeah, the one that didn't air. That was so cheesy anyway,
Oh,
but
I
still,
liked it. I liked that one too.
for the budget, I mean, it
Yeah.
was great for being a Roger Corman movie too.
So there's going to be the new Ant-Man film as well.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, and they're going to the quantum realm to save her.
Yeah.
So that looks,
Michelle Pfeiffer, right?
Yes.
yes. So that's pretty
Which
interesting.
she still looks good.
And but going back to Netflix, the Punisher trailer looked pretty interesting. It just kind of jumped all over the place for me, but you still got a gist of the Punisher, and it looks a little bit darker than the Netflix shows already. It definitely looks like it's going to get an R rating. And I'm a Punisher fan, so I am excited about that.
I don't know. I think it was announced at Comic-Con. I've heard secondhand of it, but we're getting a new Sorcerer Supreme. Doctor Strange will not be the Sorcerer Supreme. I can tell the eye roll. The new Sorcerer Supreme will be Loki.
Won't be Loki?
It will be Loki.
Will be Loki,
yeah,
yes.
Loki as Sorcerer Supreme. And we got another eye roll and deep sigh. It could be interesting. The way they played Loki the last year or so, I mean, for a couple of years actually, with him being the young kid up to growing up, and kind of, they've actually made him kind of, what would you call him, anti-hero in the 90s, you know,
Yeah.
the whole, you know, kind of a Punisher, not a Punisher kind of a character, but a kind of, yeah, the anti-hero, the
Catwoman.
yeah.
Self-serving.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could see that. He's already magic-based as it is, so.
And on just top of that, with Doctor Strange news, Jason Aaron, we know is going to be off of Doctor Strange. So, a lot of
Yeah, is it
people are...
Colin Bunn taking it over, or?
Colin
Makes
Bunn.
sense. He seems like he's writing everything.
He's writing
now.
everything right now.
Yeah, but he's writing everything, but his work's starting to suffer for it too. I mean, it's not like the really good. When he was only working on a few books, you know, his stuff was really good, and it's just. I know he's also leaving. He was leaving Darth Vader also.
Oh, really?
I think. Oh no, you're right. It was Aaron that was leaving Star Wars, and you're talking about him leaving Doctor Strange. He's also leaving the Star Wars book, and Karen Gillian is taking over Star Wars.
Okay. Just a note, other than news, just a shout out to Mad Magazine writer Stan Hart has recently passed away.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
So, best to his family and friends. Yeah, there's a lot of, like I said, just a lot of different movie news, but I think that's kind of all I have for myself as far as news that
I know they've released photos. Have they released a trailer for Runaways?
I have not seen one yet. No.
heard
Speaking of that, though, the writer of the Runaways comic series that'll be coming out is, and I just blanked on her name, but she's written a book called Fangirl. She's a young adult author, and what they said, it's going to be closely kind of tied to the show, so the new series, but it's supposedly all the original people back on it, and so, or character-wise, so.
So they're bringing back the one kid that died in the first series?
I guess so, Alex, I know, he died. I mean, how you can bring, I mean.
Well, it's comics.
Yeah.
No one's dead forever.
It's magic, you have to explain it. That's a little more of a line.
Right.
The Spirits of Vengeance is coming out with a book. We talked about it, I think, in the last several shows back. It's going to have Damien Hellstorm, Satana, Johnny Blaze, and I want to say Man-Thing, I think. And it should be pretty cool. But them doing something with, you know, Damien Hellstorm and Satana would be kind of nice. I think it's Satana. Yeah, it is Satana. I thought that was kind of odd that you don't see her doing a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you don't see Damon Hellstorm and Satana together because they hate each other, don't they?
Yeah. That I think would be a really good, but since Doctor Strange just opened up, the magic and part of the Marvel universe, I think that'd be really cool to see. Like on Netflix would be a Hellstorm series. And kind of in that same vein, Netflix's Castlevania series
recently came out.
And based on the video game, but it's written by Warren Ellis, and it's really good.
What about I keep seeing McFarlane jumping up and posting something about the Spawn movie.
Spawn,
do you think that's really gonna?
He's writing it and he's directing it. And they've actually signed with the people that do Paranormal Activity, that studio, that house, that guy. Can't think of his name. But
Trauma Films?
Trauma, no.
I could see that. Spawn on Trauma Films.
No.
They picked up another comic property not too long ago, too.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what it is.
No. But, yeah, they're going to do Spawn, and Spawn will not be the main character. Actually, Twitch, the detective, will be kind of a main character in that book, or that series.
Of Sam and Twitch.
Of Sam and Twitch fame, yeah. And apparently they're doing a Sam and Twitch BBC series, too. Kevin Smith is working on it, so hopefully it gets picked up. So.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, Comic-Con wasn't that huge for, like I said, we said for comics, so.
Well, just want to say Batman does not fist bump and he's not a metahuman.
All right. So, apparently in Suicide Squad, one that came out recently, it's revealed that
Amanda Waller
reveals that it's Batman has been using this Nith metal.
What is Nith metal?
It's or Nith, is it Nith or Ninth?
Nth?
Nith.
Okay.
Yeah. The metal for Hawkman.
Okay.
And it's been infected in his blood through long use and absorbed through the blood, not infected, sorry. And so that's made him now a metahuman. Scott Snyder has come out and says, no, Batman's not a metahuman. Terry obviously has the first-hand knowledge of this as being Batman's.
But it was writer Robin Williams who weighed in on it, of Suicide Squad.
Snyder has weighed in and said no.
Did he also weigh in on it as well?
Yeah. As Terry's big, Batman's left-handed man. Helps him do things. So, yeah.
Left-handed? I didn't know that.
I'm not. I didn't know he was left-handed.
Well, because Robin and Alfred are his right-handed.
Oh,
so you're his third go-to person.
I see.
After he goes to the family, he goes to you. Yeah, he's not a metahuman. Either way, if he is, he is. If he isn't, it doesn't matter. As long as the stories are good,
I suppose.
He does fist bump though.
He does.
Sorry, it is recorded that he has fist bump, sir.
He's done a fist bump. He does not fist bump though.
And actually, that brings back something I was going to say earlier. You bringing that argument up, it's funny because we started doing the podcast maybe about a month before Comic-Con. So we've actually been doing this a year. Or doing a year's worth,
Yeah,
it is. So it's been a year doing this, and we had a lot of changes and stuff, but we're still doing it. So it's been fun.
Any Archie news coming up?
Oh, can we spoil it? Have you read it?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Oh, so we can't spoil it.
No.
Then? But you read the last page, right?
No.
Maybe you stick your fingers in your ears.
Yeah,
and
hold
go,
your ears.
la 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 la.
This new Archie line was supposed to be, someone was supposed to die. Well, nobody died. But there is a character that's been left crippled. I won't say who, but
Yeah.
So you can't spoil it because Kenny hasn't read it yet. So, Archie news. It has been renewed. Riverdale's been renewed for a second season, but they're going to go darker. I'm like, season 1 was kind of dark as it was. I don't know how you can go a little bit darker, but Stranger Things has got a second season. I know that. I guess that's about it. Unless you think of anything else.
I can't think of anything right off top of my head. I mean, if we do come up with something, we can talk about it next week, I guess, or next podcast. Or somebody can tell us, hey, you forgot this, and then you need to talk about that.
Yeah, and then we definitely will talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, do you have anything else?
No.
I don't think so. Not at the time. I mean, hopefully somebody will comment and say, "Hey, you forgot about this. What
Yeah,
what do you think about this?"
Check the Facebook page out, Comic Book Straight Talk on Facebook.
Carrington, did you have anything?
Carrington, you got anything?
No.
No?
Okay.
Well, I guess for Comic Book Straight Talk, this is Dalian.
Terry.
Kenny.
Carrington.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.